Hey guys, this is Klazart with an audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on the World Cyber Games Korean 3rd and 4th place decider qualifiers matchup between Luxury and Jaedong. This is the second set of the best of 3 series, with Luxury having it all to do. It looks like we've got Luxury in orange and Jaedong in teal to start with. Luxury is going to be at 9 o'clock. This is going to be on Outsider, and Jaedong is going to be at the 12 o'clock position. Luxury with all to do, folks, having lost the first game dramatically to some fantastic Ling micro by Jaedong, just overpowered by Jaedong's pure physical skill in the last matchup, and he's got it all to do here. And as I said, I think Jaedong is a tough player to beat when he's ahead. He's a tough player to beat even when he's level. So you really don't want to let him get in that position against you. And unfortunately, Luxury allowed him to do that in the previous matchup. Looks like both players sending their overlords in the wrong direction to scout to start with. And it'll be interesting to see what sort of build Luxury goes for this time around and what sort of build Jaedong goes for. Both players with mirror builds and truly a mirror matchup in the last game. And I've got to tell you guys, I feel bad for Luxury. I mean, on the one hand, I'm sure Zerg fans want to see Jaedong go to the World Cyber Games finals and display his skill and prowess before the world. On the other hand, I'm sure that there are a lot of fans out there who feel bad for Luxury, who feel that he's a player who's won a Star League previously and that he deserves to... but on the other hand, well, I guess even though you could argue that Luxury deserves to have a chance to showcase his skill at the world level, it has to be remembered Luxury's already won the World Cyber Games once, which I don't think Jaedong has. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Looks like both players have put their spawning pools down. I think Jaedong actually went for an overpool this time around, and I think Luxury might have done the same. Jaedong now taking his extractor, both players with their second overlords popping out, and it'll be interesting to see if both players indeed have gone for virtually an identical build, and I think they have. I think both players have gone for the same build. Both players have had their second overlords pop. So this is going to be an interesting game of StarCraft between these two guys. Both players going for identical builds both times around, and their spawning pools should be coming around almost exactly the same time. So this might be one of those games that is going to be decided by micro, and if it is, you would have to say that Luxury is going to have a tough time forcing this into a third game, into a tiebreaker. Jaedong now is mining gas, Luxury as well. Luxury spawning pool just now about to pop. Actually, I think Jaedong's... I'd have to have a look again. This is one of those times where I really wish I had control of the mouse, and I could just, and those two overlords just dancing over. And I think Jaedong's spawning pool perhaps might have popped a second earlier than Luxury's, although I'm not 100% sure on that. Both players, however, now morphing their lairs and mining the gas. And it'll be interesting to see if Jaedong decides to once again put pressure with the Lings. I think he has an idea where his opponent's base is. Luxury is going to see those Lings heading out towards him with that overlord. Luxury's got 4 Lings this time, and now he's got his 6. So Luxury a little bit slower on the Lings than Jaedong, and maybe he just built a drone or 2 extra to allow him to do that, which would give him an advantage later on in the game in terms of his economy. And I can't really tell looking at their food counts whether or not that actually is the case. Luxury now, however, with a couple more Lings to back up his 6 Lings on the ramp, just blocking Jaedong out. And that was the mistake he made last time around. He was a little bit too adventurous with his Lings. He tries to ambush Jaedong's Lings outside of his main and ended up allowing Jaedong's Lings through that narrow choke into his main, where Jaedong was able to wreak havoc and somehow just out micro Luxury, and Luxury really never recovered from that. So he's not making that mistake this time around. He's not letting Jaedong get in there. Jaedong with 8 Lings sitting there, Luxury with 8 Lings up at the top of his ramp and producing a couple more. Jaedong, I think, managed to snipe a Ling there of Luxury's, and again, that's the testament to his micro that he was able to snipe that. Jaedong's invested a lot of Lings, but he hasn't been able to break through. Luxury now starting up that Spire, Jaedong with his Spire going down as well. So this is going to come down to the air battle between these two players, although you might feel that Luxury now with a lot of Lings coming out, he's had a decent number of Lings hidden up behind his ramp, and he's now trying to break out, but Jaedong, using the advantage of his position to maximal effect, is able to hold Luxury off, and I think Luxury actually had more Lings there. Luxury with 3 Lings remaining, he's producing more Lings now. Jaedong might find himself in a little bit of trouble. Those Lings pouring towards Jaedong. Jaedong doesn't have any Lings, and he's been forced to put a creep colony down. He's going to be forced to make a sunken because he's not been able to get any Lings. So Luxury this time, surprising Jaedong with a few Lings, just managed to break through. Jaedong with now 2 Lings out, morphing that sunken. If Luxury can get even a couple of drone kills here, he'll be in a similar position to what Jaedong was last time around, and Jaedong is going to have to micro his heart out here. Jaedong loses one of his Lings, 2 more Lings pop out for Jaedong. Luxury with 4 Lings down in Jaedong's base, and Luxury trying to get some drone kills. Now the sunken pops, and Jaedong successfully defends all of his drones, and now Luxury is going to be forced to run away with his Lings. Luxury with more Lings coming out, though. He's really committing himself to his Lings. He's really putting a lot of Lings out, but he has got his larvae saved up. for that Spire. Looks like he's not saving up any larvae for his Mutalisk. He's just continuing to pump those Lings out. Jaedong with the Spire going up. I think Jaedong might actually be saving larvae. Luxury with a lot of Zings streaming in now. Luxury with about 6 or 7 Lings coming into Jaedong's 3. Jaedong again, remember, does have that Sunken. Luxury going to try and close that Sunken down. Jaedong doesn't. Luxury actually trying to snipe drones rather than go for that Sunken. He's got a couple of Zerglings on the Sunken, but he's not able to kill the Sunken. I don't know if he got any drone kills there. I think he might have gotten one, but he's lost a lot of Lings in the process. I think he might have gotten a couple of drone kills on Jaedong's gas drones, and that's obviously critical. Jaedong now looks like he's only got about 5 drones mining minerals because he wants to keep the maximum number of drones on the grass. Has Luxury killed enough drones there to give himself a slight advantage in this game that he can outproduce Jaedong in the Air Force? And Jaedong, yeah, it looks like Jaedong with about 7 drones. I think Luxury with perhaps 2 drones more. So I think Luxury got about 2 drone kills there, and I think that's the lead that Luxury has in terms of drones. Jaedong and Luxury both with Mutalisk popping, and it'll be interesting to see whether that attack made a difference in terms of giving Luxury the air superiority advantage. Luxury right now seems to be content to hover over his base with the Mutalisk, and if he has an advantage, he will look to build that Air Force and have a superior Air Force compared to Jaedong. Jaedong again with his Mutalisk foraying about. This game is far from over though, even though Jaedong took a little bit of a hit there, and actually looking at the pop counts, they seem to be identical, 19 to 17. So they seem to have 19 to 19. It looks like both players right now. But yeah, I do feel that this is still a game that either player can win. Jaedong can easily still take this game, although Luxury, you would have to say, has if either player has an advantage, a slight advantage, you would have to give it to Luxury, because I think he did get a couple of drone kills in there. Although you've got to give Jaedong a lot of credit for the way he microed in that battle. Jaedong now looks like he's trying to set up that natural expo as well. I don't see another hatchery going down for Luxury right now. Luxury just concentrating on getting that Air Force up. Jaedong now trying to take an overlord down on Luxury. Luxury comes out with the Mutalisk. Luxury's micro is going to be key here. I think he managed to get a snipe off on the Scourges before they could really land, and now Luxury is going to be able to use that overlord as well to absorb some hits from those Mutalisks from splash damage. Jaedong with more Scourges coming in, but Luxury with the shorter supply route. Jaedong really committing everything here in this attack. Luxury once again trying to dodge the Scourges, and Jaedong loses all of his Mutalisks. Luxury with some good Mutalisk micro there. Jaedong, I think, perhaps being a little over aggressive, though I guess he felt a little bit behind, and that the need to do that, loses that game, and Luxury manages to level it off at 1-1, and we're going to go into an exciting tiebreak here, folks, to see which of these two guys is going to be the third representative for Korea at the World Cyber Games Grand Finals. This is Klazart. Thanks for listening.